Raise your glass, toast your friends, let's drink Michigan beer!
It's Eric Hulkran, and we are at Winter Beer Fest 2019, and I'm with craft beer enthusiast Nick Bailey.
Hey.
Behind us are 150 breweries and over 1,000 craft beers to choose from in one place, one weekend a year.
I look forward to this day every year. It is the culmination of everything Michigan craft beer. And to be honest with you, I don't even know how they put on an event like this.
So we went straight to the source to visit Westside Beer Distributing and find out exactly what it takes to get the beer from there to here for Winter Beer Fest 2019.
It's really something that, regardless of, breweries competing against each other on a day-to-day basis in the streets, wholesalers obviously competing against each other, it's the one event that, we all come together and just enjoy what craft beer is and what it has become in our community. There will be thousands of different types of beer at the festival, and not one of them is the same. Everyone has the right to enjoy beers or dislike beers, and I think that's what's cool, is that there are so many different beers, and no matter where you are on that spectrum, people are interested in your opinion about that beer.
It's very hard to comprehend the vibe until you go there, but it's the community of beer with the people and the suppliers. It's really hard to put your finger on until you actually see it. And I was glad the first time I got to go, because then you really kind of understand why beer is such a big deal in our state.
We're all nuts. We show up in sub-zero temperature, with salami necklaces and pretzel necklaces, and it's bro hugs and high fives, and what do you got? It's that once a year, twice a year festival when you're seeing old friends making new friends, and it's, everybody's just celebrating beer.
Can't always count on certain weather, but that's just part of the makeup and the background of building a really cool story about the local beer scene.
There's the supplier tier, the distributor tier, and the retailer tier. And the three-tier system is something that is in place in the United States that separates the tiers so there's not a tied house, which was the case many years ago prior to Prohibition. In the United States, coupled with the creativity of the wonderful craft brewers we have here, the three-tier system has allowed those beers to get to market and not be in a monopolized retail market that you might see in other countries across the globe.
We start about 2 months before the event goes. I reach out to the suppliers and we start getting on the same page. What special beers are you going to bring in? What's the list going to look like?
The logistics is a big part of how this thing works behind the scenes. It's inventorying the product, getting the product there on a timely basis, and making sure that we're there to help them clean up the event so it goes flawlessly at the Fifth Ballpark.
When we get to the week of, there isn't a lot of running around, and most things are locked in, right?
I'm excited. I'm asking them, make sure you tap it Friday when I'm going to be there,
Probably 2 to 3 weeks prior to the festival taking place, their orders start rolling in the door here. And so usually it comes accompanied with their regular order plus their Winter Beer Fest order. And so it's kind of my job to separate the Winter Beer Fest from the regular inventory that's going to be going out on our trucks every day. I put it all together on a pallet and hold it in an isolated location that cannot escape our warehouse. Technically what it's called is quarantining the inventory. So the sales reps don't even technically, I guess, know that it exists. And it works a lot better that way. Thursday morning I'll come in and the first thing I'll do is unquarantine all the beer. I'll have a guy on a forklift start pulling it out and lining it up in the drive-thru so we can load it on a truck. Then we will make one last walkthrough, checking every single barrel, making sure everything is right. And then we load it on the truck and print the invoice.
So this has been an amazing experience to not only know how this event comes to be, but then experience it in its fullest form on a gorgeous Friday night. For Nick Bailey, I'm Eric Hulkran, and this is Michigan's Best.